Welcome back. This is Cody with Wrangler Star. In today's video I'm going to show you how to replace an electrical wall plug. Let's go over the tools you're going to need for this job. First off, you're going to need a plug. And they come in different amperages, so look at the plug that you're going to replace and it should be stamped on there. This particular one is 15 amp. Next we're going to need a Phillips and a standard screwdriver, an electrical tester, and a pair of electrical stripping tools. If you have the electrical tester, don't worry. You can use a simple corded drill, any tool that makes a bunch of noise. We're simply going to use this to test, make sure that the power is turned off to the plug. And if you don't have a dedicated electrical tool, don't worry about that either. You can use needle nose pliers, side cutters, or a Leatherman multi-tool and eliminate this whole set of tools. I'll do the job with a Leatherman. What we want to do is verify that the power is turned off to the plug we're going to change. We can test this with our electrical tester. Or if you don't have one of those, you can use a hair blower, a corded drill, any power tool that you can plug in and then leave on. So we'll turn this on, leave it running, go down to the breaker panel and verify that the thing is off. At the breaker panel, simply switch off the circuit and that should kill the power to the plug. And you can also see on the breaker panel it will tell you how many amps it is. You want to be sure you match the plug with the amperage number on the circuit breaker itself. Once we've verified the power is off, we'll remove the cover. Next we'll remove the top and bottom screws that secure the plug to the junction box. Once the screws are removed, pull the plug gently and the wires out of the box. The wires will be secured with small Phillips screws. Some they'll be poked in the back. These can be released, but I find it simpler if you have enough wire to go ahead and just cut them off and start over. Now don't be intimidated by all these wires, it's actually quite simple. You'll have a wire that has no shielding on it. It's going to be a copper color, that's the ground. You'll have either one or two white wires, those are the neutral, and then you'll have one or two black wires, and these are the hot wires. You don't have to worry about remembering which wires go where because the plug makes it simple for you. As you'll see on your receptacles, you'll have a gold or brass colored screws on one side, you'll have silver screws on the other side, and then you'll have a green screw. To start with the green is always ground in the United States for home use. The copper wire without the cover on it is going to always go to the green. The white is going to go to the silver, and the black is going to go to the gold. And how I remember it is black gold. Black gold, like the term referring to oil. The black always goes to the gold. That way you can't mix it up and you won't make any mistakes. Now we need to strip the wire. What that means is to strip the shielding off the wire so we can hook it to the plug. On the back of your plug, they're going to have a little gauge called a strip guide, and it'll say strip guide on the back. And what you can do is it will tell you how far to strip the wire. You lay it in here and it'll come to a stop. That way there's no guesswork on how far to strip the wire. The best and simplest way to strip wire is using a dedicated electrician's tool like this. You can find the appropriate size wire and crimp it and pull it off like that. But you don't need this, you can do this with a Leatherman too. If you don't have an electrician's tool, you can simply and carefully take your knife and cut the insulation all the way around, and don't use too much pressure. You don't want to nick or cut into the wire, but make sure it's all the way through, and then you can simply remove it. After you've stripped your wires, grab them by the tip and twist them into a fishhook shape. Starting with the ground, we'll place them on the screw. Once you get them on, take your pliers and pinch them tight around the shaft of the screw. Once all your wires are attached, go ahead and tighten up your screws. After your wires are all secured, make sure you carefully manipulate the wires back into the box. And be sure to orient the plug with the ground holes down. Next we'll line up the screws and tighten. Install your cover. Turn on your breaker. And last, test the circuit for power. There you go. You just saved yourself about $250 by not having to call an electrician to come out and do a DIY job that you can simply do yourself. Found this video helpful? I invite you to subscribe. I'll be uploading new DIY projects weekly, so we'll see you on the next one.